our group did the ask, seek, and knock, and for each we had a story in our personal life that expressed asking, seeking, and knocking. So she will start.
So for the first one, for asking, this happened 2 years ago after we decided to come to China, and like right after, the next month, my dad lost his job, and we had no income, and at that, it was like April time period, and I'd been wanting to go to a camp in the summer, and we hadn't signed up, and it was like $500–600 US, and we were like, there's no way I can go to this camp with having no income. So then the night that my dad shared with the family that he lost his job, the first thought that came to my mind was, Dad, how am I going to go to this camp? Because it's expensive and we haven't signed up yet. So then he's like, well, we won't say no to this because we can just ask God. So we started like a prayer chart on a whiteboard, and we put the date requested, what it was, and the date we wanted the request answered by, so that when that date came around, it'd remind us to see had God answered that prayer or not. So then pretty much every day after that, for maybe about a week, I had prayed every day, Lord, if this is your will, let me go to this camp. So then a week, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks passed by, and I sort of forgot about it. And then one day, I remembered, I was like, oh, I haven't been praying about being able to go to this camp. So right then I was just like, Lord, if this is your will, I ask that you would somehow provide the money. I have no idea how, but somehow provide the money for me to go to this camp. And like literally, I'd say 2–3 hours after that, the phone rang, and it was the campus pastor at our church. And I had never met him before. I just seen him in church and stuff. And he asked to talk to my parents, and they were out of town, so he's like, are you the one who wants to go to a camp at Trinity International? And I was like, in my head, I was like, why are you talking to me? I've never met you in person, and I was just really puzzled like as to why he was talking to me on the phone. So then after that, he's like, could you give me some more information about the camp? So then he gave me, I sent him like an email with the link and stuff, and then I didn't think much about it after that. And then the next day he called back again, and he's like, so hey Joel, this is the deal. You're all signed up for the camp, and all you need to do is call this lady up and give her some personal information. So I was just blown away. I was like, wow, Lord, you just provided like $500–600 US, like out of the blue from I don't have no idea who. And I was just really blessed. Just instead of immediately saying no to the request, my dad said, yes, let's pray about it. Just the fact of asking God, even if it's something big, something small, God can still answer prayers. So
ask and it will be given to you.
So that was her story. Mine is probably like the least related to all three, but it's seeking, right? So my story comes during Chinese New Year, and like a lot of Asian families can relate to me probably. But then every time Chinese New Year when I'm in Singapore, I have to go look for my relatives, and I have to seek them out. I have to look for them, knock on their door, and ask them for red packets. That is the whole point of my seeking. And when I do seek them, I have to, it's traditional, so I have to like say some New Year like words in Chinese to like bless them and stuff. So after that, I will receive the red packet, and because I seek them out and stuff, they feel that it's good, so they give me like allowance in the red packet, and I get a lot of money. That's my seeking. What happens when I seek?
That's awesome.
For the
Seek and you.
Alright, so my story is about knocking. And I had a similar story to Kayla's parable from earlier, where I was the first apartment I moved to in Dallas was not in the best part of town, because it didn't have a lot of money. And so I was trying to save money by living in a not so good apartment, not so good area. But at 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, there was a knock on the door, a really loud knock. And I was like, oh man, I don't know who this is. It's got to be some drunk person or some person just off the street trying to find a random house to knock the door and be like, hey man, open up. So I went back to sleep, rolled over. Again, knock, really hard knocks on the door. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Man, maybe it'll go away. Knock again. Man, go away. And so, man, this happened consistently for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, who's trying to get my attention for 10 minutes? I should go down there. So I go down there, unlock all 3 deadbolts from the door, crack open the door, look out, and it's this little old lady standing there. A powerful old lady, she can knock that out. But this little old lady standing there and says, you dropped your wallet. Standing out, I dropped my wallet right outside my door, and I'm like, whoa, thank you so much. And she said, good night and God bless you. And it really takes into account, it's like, wow, I didn't know in this really horrible place to live, where you go outside and you're afraid of getting shot the next day. Someone can say, God bless you, here's your wallet, I found this on the street. We think of knocking on the door, knocking and asking God to give, like, hey, God's going to give me something, I'm going to knock on the door. But sometimes it's like, God, I want to knock on this door and I'm going to say, thank you so much for loving me. And so giving Him praise.
So knock and the door will be open.
So that's the 3 that we had today.